Good afternoon and welcome to EVE Online with me, the capsuleer known as Xenoc Bel'Akon. Now, this is a new feature which is going to be continued, and what it is with Patreon and a couple of other bits and pieces we will be doing an Alpha's Guide to EVE Online. Now, I'm not going to hold you by the hand the whole time, and I'm not going to show you hours upon hours upon hours of footage with me mining. But what I will do is, just to kick things off, I've put up the first post in Patreon, which is behind a paywall. If you don't want to pay for it, you have to wait 60 days for it to be made available to the public. So if you want to see it sooner rather than later, now's your chance. What it is I published a thing on about how to mine effectively as an alpha with a venture. Now, as you can see, there are ventures here which I have now highlighted, and this is my venture which I have renamed. As you can see, I've renamed a couple of other ships as well. Now, if you look to the right hand side down here, you will see that all of the career military bosses, apart from the advanced military one, has been completed. And this is the situation that I am in at the end of doing the vast majority of the missions with the number of ships. And you can see that I have a fair few. In fact, I have 3 million ISK worth in ships alone, without taking into consideration modules. I've not had to spend a penny on a ship or ship equipment to get to this point. Everything has been provided by the tutorials. Both the new player experience, when you wake up in the middle of whatever situation you're in, depending on the sovereignty you are. As Amar, it was the middle of a drifter attack. I don't know about the others, but once you get to the career agents, which will give you a good starting amount of ships, it has also given me, if we look over here to the wallet, a balance of around 6.6 million. The reason for doing this video is twofold. As I've said, the blog post that I've put up, which is about mining and showing you how to look at mining to try and maximise your revenue, and what you should look at mining, regardless of whether you're not in high sec or low sec. It is high sec based, so I haven't put in more advanced ore types such as Arcanor or Macoxit, which is the most advanced, but I have made mention in the blog of gas harvesting. And the reason I've made mention of that is, if we go over here to the skills and we look at some of the industrial and the not science, it's resource reprocessing, you can see that as an alpha you can get gas cloud harvesting to rank 2. And what are the requirements? Mining 4. And as you can see, mining 4, 1 day, 17 hours and 24 minutes on an alpha account. So quite early on in your career you can be looking at gas cloud harvesting. And then I realised, after playing through the agent missions over here, that there isn't really a way of explaining how to do the gas harvesting that's going to be coming anytime soon. And what's going to happen is I'm inviting people to follow the progress of Xenoc Bel'Akon with me, so that you can see how to build up a reasonable amount of ISK in a short amount of time. The main reason for this is a fresh account. There is nothing on here that is any kind of legacy, and this is something that I'm doing as a fresh account, which means that my time will be limited because I have other things to do, and I also have commitments in the world of EVE Online which are completely separate to this account. And that's and again, this is an account so that no sensitive information can be given away from anywhere at all possible, from anyone at all that could be deemed sensitive. So as you can see, my training queue, I've got Amar Destroyer 2, Warp Drive Operation 2 and Industry 4 going up. And part of the reason why destroyers is being used is because I don't have a destroyer there, but when I complete this, when I take the mission, I get given a destroyer. That's the reason why I've not done this yet. I'm getting my destroyer skill up before taking it out, not so that I can merely fly it, but I can fly it well. Now, the second part of this video is to show you that I will be doing some what's called exploration, and here at the moment is the ship I'm going to be using. I've called it Third Eye Blind. Spin the ship there, but I will be using core probe launchers, and I will be showing how it is that you get into the exploration. Now, if you look over here, Ketandia Iosos actually goes through 5 missions with you and explains the exploration in greater detail. Now, I have to say, I found the tutorial a lot easier than when I did it the time before. And the reason for that is, if we go into, I believe, science. Processing, is it? Structure management, planet management. Planet management, you're completely locked out of as an alpha, by the way. Pretty much as corporation management as well. Rigging. Scanning. It used to be that when you started, you had absolutely no skills in this whatsoever. And straight away you can see that the most useful skill, astrometric pinpointing, requires the omega clone state to use. Now, the reason this is because it reduces your maximum scan deviation down by 5% a level, which is 25% when you've got it to level 5, but you also require astrometrics 4, and as we can see, astrometrics is maxed out at 3, and that gives you plus 5% scan strength, deviation, and scan probe scan time. Now, archaeology and hacking are used at the sites that use data and relic sites, not gas. Gas harvesting is specific to the gas clouds, but the reason I'm bringing that up is that you need to know how to find the gas clouds before you can harvest the gas within them. So that is the reason for this video, is to show you what I will be looking at over the coming weeks and months, as well as days. Don't get me wrong on that, there will be days as well. But I will be cutting out a lot of the more tedious sides of things to EVE Online, and I do invite you to join me. You can find my Twitter, which is part of the Forgotten Forge Games project, which is a small organisation on its way to becoming a charity, where we discuss and enable people with social anxieties and mental disabilities and other difficulties to come into a managed space and share games. Primarily because it is in real time, it is in real space. We do this and we all meet up in real life. We tend towards more of the card games and the board games, so things like Settlers of Catan, Pandemic, the odd game of Cluedo, that kind of thing on the board game side, but we also play things like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and other card games. We do have a small shop called mythandmachine.co.uk, and if you want to fund this individually from the Forgotten Forge Games project, then I myself am on Patreon, which is where you will find this video and other links. If you want to follow on Twitter, you can find my account as part of the Forgotten Forge Games project as Voice of the Forge. And I do believe that some of this channel's branding might be on the video as well. So I thank you very much for watching. I hope this has piqued your interest, and any comments and feedback will be welcome. So once again, it is I, Xenoc Bel'Akon, signing off and hoping to see you in the depths of space at some point in the future. Good afternoon, and bugger. I forgot I've lost you. There we go. Good afternoon. I've lost it. Where do I stop